tell me what to say.
Hello and welcome to another exciting new episode of Serious Nibbage with B.R.E. and
Gourmet pens.
Gourmet Pants.
It sounds like you said gourmet pans.
Gourmet Pants. Gourmet Pants. That's really designer pants.
Gourmet pants.
Anyway,
Okay.
enough of this
Sorry.
pointless bickering.
Yeah.
Today we'll talk about this pen, the OMAS 360. This is the vintage model, not the new modern, rounded off, and in my opinion, rather ugly model.
Nor the OMAS 360 vintage,
which is a limited
modern
edition
model.
modern pen.
It's very confusing.
Yeah, so this is the original model that OMAS launched.
Alright.
Okay, as this is my pen, shall I give first impressions?
Absolutely.
I got this pen. I don't have the box at hand. I got it pre-owned because it was out of production when I wanted it. It comes in a nice, I think it's fake leather box with a bottle of ink, with a little pen sleeve, and that's pretty much it. Nice packaging, interesting pen. I'll come back to that in a second. Interesting shape. Definitely a big pen, and my first impressions were, this is a very interesting pen. Now, I got this pen because I used someone else's at my first ever pen show, and I was sold when I used his. So that tells you why I got this, and then also why I was so excited for the first impression.
Yeah.
What were your first impressions?
Well, my first impressions were that it's very triangular. I mean, it's really, you could probably, I'm sure you could see that. There we go. So I was like, oh, this is weird. And then you uncap it, and the section is extremely triangular. So I was thinking, this is not going to be comfortable. And it's a large pen. I mean, this is pretty big. But I was surprised by how light it was, and when I held it, how comfortable it was. And it's a fine. He actually bought a fine nib.
You have to get what you get when it's vintage.
So it was an interesting first impression because it was really, I just had no idea what to expect. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bad experience or, first impression. But I wasn't like...
It wasn't thrilling.
No, I wasn't thrilled. So I don't find the appearance thrilling, and I don't find the nib particularly exciting. So that was my first impression.
What makes it special? Shall I...
Yeah.
Well, Aziza kind of gave it away.
Sorry.
What makes it special is the triangular shape. And the newer model that I talked about is much more rounded off. But as you can see, this is very triangular. It is a big, oversized pen. The section is triangular. And that may look like it's extremely uncomfortable, but in fact, I find it very comfortable to use. Your fingers really fit around it very naturally, and it's a serious pen. Also, it's really big. Unposted, whoops, it's big. Now, there have been some issues with caps cracking, so as I understand it, it's not recommended to post this pen. Another reason to do that is that if you do, it's about a 7-inch pen, if I recall correctly, so it's really big.
He almost kept a straight face. I just looked at
Almost. But in any case, big, serious pen, and also light, because it's not very few
That is very
metal parts
surprising.
on it,
That is surprising.
and I find it very well balanced.
That it's so light for such a large pen, because I was just going to say the M1000, for example, is fairly substantial.
Yes.
And you just kind of have this idea that it's going to be heavy.
Yes.
And it's quite light, so.
So there you have it. That's what makes it special.
Mm-hmm.
What was your writing experience?
Well, it's your
like?
pen. You talk about your writing
Okay, my writing experience was actually nice. It is a fine nib. It's well adjusted, good ink flow, pleasant to use. It's 18 karat gold. I'll show you the nib. Something I really love about this is the very cool arrow design on the nib,
it's very streamlined.
which is very cool, very nice looking. Very smooth, very pleasant writing experience. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, well, I do have to second that, because when I
I have to second that.
You
I
know,
don't like the pen, but
you didn't say I don't like the pen.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna stab
You
you.
hate it. Okay.
It is incredibly comfortable. It is really large, but again, it's very light. But the flat end here sits right in the, I guess, the web of my. Oh, I hate that thumb web. Oh, puke. Anyway, it sits right there. It's not uncomfortable. And the corners are kind of rounded, ever so slightly, so they're not sharp. They don't hurt.
There is a name for that, and I can't. It is a geometrical thing where
Yeah,
it's
I don't
not
know.
just a triangle, but every side is slightly rounded off.
Yeah,
There's
maybe
a name
someone
correctly.
smart out there
I know.
can tell
I know
us.
the people who are going to tell me what it is.
Yeah, so that is particularly comfortable, and it doesn't need to be posted because for me this is
Wonderful.
large enough.
Beautiful.
It's
I
very
love it.
well balanced, has a very comfortable shape, and again with the section I was like, this is going to be really weird, and it's not. It's very comfortable, surprisingly, because for me my grip just works. I have one finger that goes there, one here, one there, and it's just like magical.
It's very comfy.
So that's the comfort. And as for the nib, like he said, it's a fine. It is very smooth. It has a slight bit of give to it, so you can squeeze out an itty bitty bit of line variation, which is nice if you're looking for something a little expressive. But I think it's very pleasant. It has good flow, which it's nice. It is a good writer. So my writing experience was positive.
That's good.
Positive.
Anything you love about it or hate about it?
To be honest, there is nothing I love about this pen. It just doesn't do anything for me.
So disappointing. So disappointing.
Hey, you knocked my 52V, so don't even go there.
Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand.
Anyway, I love this pen. Beautiful, oversized, well balanced, good nib. It's a piston fill pen. Another very cool feature is that the end right there is actually the piston turning knob. Fits in very well. I love that. Something I don't don't like about it so much. Very hard to disassemble these pens, and there are two little grooves. You can make a tool to open up the nib. In the end, I managed to pull out the nib and feed. I wouldn't really do that, nor would I really recommend it, because it is ebonite. You can break it in half, but the piston hardly worked anymore. With a vintage pen, that can happen. I don't know if hardly worked anymore is actually English, but it didn't really work so well anymore. I had to grease it up. So I had to take a Q-tip, put in certain grease, put it in there. It worked in the end, and now it operates really smoothly, very pleasantly. But if a piston filler is hard to disassemble, that can give you some maintenance issues. So that's something I don't really like about it that much. Would you buy it? I guess I know your answer.
Yeah, and the new, we're not sure about the price of a vintage one because
Yeah, it will vary depending on condition.
But the new ones were
paperwork.
€4.95.
Yeah, the new ones, the small gray, I think are $4.95, and then
which, quite frankly, I
you
think is
had
a
a red
prettier
one.
finish than this.
You had a red one, you had a turquoise one. Shut up. But they're not cheap.
Why are you so mean to me?
I'm not
I
mean.
think you should buy me a pen for this. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're not inexpensive at all.
They're not inexpensive pens.
They're
Their
definitely
piston fillers, 18K.
they're definitely
Something.
expensive up there.
I would buy it again.
I would not buy it.
Okay, well that just shows you have no taste. Now, having said that, the question, of course, is it or is it not serious nibbage?
Womp womp.
So yes, we both agree it is serious nibbage.
So ridiculous. It's, there's no doubt that it's an impressive pen because it is large, it is a nice nib and all that, but it just does nothing for me. I don't find anything spectacular about it. I also find them overpriced, but
Overpriced.
maybe if it was,
overpriced.
maybe if it was
I spend hundreds of euros in vintage pens and flex, but this is overpriced.
there's no flex on there. It's just a fine nib. If it was a different nib, maybe it would be more exciting for me. If it was a more exciting color or something, I don't know.
How about we put a nudeless flex nib on it from the Nib Creeper that probably fits?
It just does nothing for me.
Okay.
So
Well,
anyway,
taste differs. Some people have it, some people don't. I hope you enjoyed this. So this was the OMAS 360, the vintage model. If you like the video, please hit the like button. We appreciate
someone
it.
would really like to do the modern version, I think.
Yes.
Just
OMAS,
hi,
if you're
Omas.
listening. Anyway, I like the smoky gray and the gold trim. Anyway, having said that,
Anyway,
with
thank
the
you
broad
for
note,
watching.
yes, we appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions for future episodes of Serious Nibbage, please leave a comment below. We appreciate it. If you don't like the video while you're still watching, and I think that's it. We hope this was useful.
Oh yeah, And we'll see you later.
Probably.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that's the wrong side. That felt really weird.